911 is for the hit and run. This guy fled from the scene at 37th Place in Kedzie. It all started at I-55 in Kedzie. Then they fled southbound at Kedzie, where that offending vehicle crashed. They ran the federal agent off the road.
Have them hold tight until I give you further direction, please.
If you guys can start heading there as quick as you can, and then just hold tight for instructions with 999.
So the Chief of Patrol, clear everybody up. We're not responding over there.
Radio check. And again, per the Chief of Patrol, we have all the units that, per 999, Chief of Patrol said all units clear out from there. We're not sending anybody over to that location.
A disturbing dispatch call in Chicago where you can hear the dispatcher say that an ICE agent has asked for assistance after a suspect ran a federal agent off the road. Seconds later, the dispatcher tells all units to clear out and not respond. She says, we're not going over there. Joining me now is the former head of the Chicago Police Department and retired FBI Special Agent in charge, Jody Weis. Jody, good morning to you. I really want to talk to you about this because you were dumbfounded when you first heard this dispatch call, especially when you hear her say, per the Chief of Patrol, everybody out. We're not responding over there.
Yeah, I was shocked, Jan. I mean, think about it. Law enforcement agents call for help, and the Chicago Police Department didn't respond to that immediately. Now, to be fair, they did respond 1 hour and 10 minutes later. An hour and 10 minutes later to a call for help. That's just absolutely shocking for me. And the other classic thing I learned earlier this morning was that when they did respond, they were told not to wear their gas masks, not to wear their helmets because they'd be too intimidating. So what happened? They're hit with chemical agents because ICE had to deploy chemical agents for their own safety. So just a complete mess.
Well, and to be fair, there's nothing fair about that. An hour and 10 minutes later is way too late, especially if you're surrounded, right, by protesters and demonstrators. How do you see this playing out?
Well, actually, a couple things. Number one, I think the Chief of Patrol has to go. I mean, even if he said I didn't know all the facts, that's no excuse. But I also see this playing right into President Trump's hand. You have ICE agents who are unable to enforce federal law. That lines almost verbatim with Title 10, which gives the president the authority to federalize National Guard if federal agents cannot enforce the law. So just a complete mess.
Not only that, you have the Department of Homeland Security right now slamming Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, who signed an executive order, Jody, to create ICE-free zones. What is going on in Chicago? ICE-free zones?
Yeah, I mean, this guy's he's just a buffoon. I mean, I guess he's never heard of the Federal Supremacy Clause, but, you know, it's a joke. And Chicago, sadly, has turned into almost just a joke of a city. It's just a hot mess right now. And I certainly would love to have Mayor Daley back in there who knew how to run a city.
Jody, I want to turn now to the FBI, and we've been reporting on this all morning. The explosive document that revealed the FBI under President Biden spied on 8 sitting Republican senators and 1 GOP congressman. This was all part of an investigation called Arctic Frost, where they got all the phone data, including who these lawmakers talked to, how long they talked to this person, even the location of the call. How disturbing was this report right here to you?
Oh, to me, totally outrageous. You know, again, they didn't get content, they didn't get audio, but what could they do with this information? You could map out who you're talking to. You could map out even your movement. So what does this do? It's just symbolic of the lawfare and the weaponization of the federal law enforcement agencies under the Biden administration. And it just undermines public trust. And Jen, when will this end? When will we stop learning about this corruption that just seems to come out every day as we move forward under the Trump administration? It's so sad that this is what we've dealt with for 4 years.
Yeah, and we also know the FBI finally cut its relationship with left-wing activist groups like the Southern Poverty Law Center, as well as the Anti-Defamation League. What does this tell us about these groups, their agenda, and their reliability?
Yeah, that was so sad because 30 years ago, those two groups were awesome. You could get amazing intelligence on hate groups, on extremist groups, because they could maintain data that law enforcement couldn't. Over the years, though, they have lost their way. And now when you start calling Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA an extremist group, when you're calling Catholics extremists, they just completely moved away and started focusing everything on the right. So I think it was a great move by Kash Patel, cutting ties with them, because they totally lost their way. And it's sad because they had great potential, but they've lost it.
All right, former head of the Chicago Police Department and retired FBI special agent in charge, Jody Weis, thank you for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.